You think you're playing by all the rules, following all the so-called expert advice and social media gurus, but there's a harsh truth most people ignore. The majority of investors will never see real, lasting profits. I'm about to show you exactly why that happens and how you can break free before it's too late. Let me take you back to 2018, when my friend Jake was convinced he'd found the next tech giant. He'd studied every blog post, every tweet, every podcast bragging that this obscure company would change the world. For a few months, it looked great. The stock climbed. Jake was ecstatic. Then came a disappointing earnings call. The stock crashed, and Jake was left with a huge loss. He felt betrayed and embarrassed. The worst part? He did everything the experts recommended, yet it still blew up in his face. So what's the problem? Why do so many well-intentioned investors share Jake's fate? The answer has three parts. We're dealing with emotional traps, a relentless hype machine, and a short-term mindset that kills real success. Stick around, because I'm giving you a roadmap that can change everything. It won't be easy, but if you want genuine financial freedom, you must face these pitfalls head-on. First, the emotional roller coaster. Fear and greed aren't just buzzwords. They hijack your brain the moment real money's on the line. When your stock soars, you feel unstoppable. But when it dips, your heart races and you panic sell. That's how you lock in losses. On the flip side, greed makes you hold on too long, convinced it'll never crash. Emotions cloud your judgment, and the consequences can be devastating. Financial media knows exactly how to exploit these emotions. Sensational headlines spark fear when prices drop and stoke greed when prices rise. It keeps you glued, constantly reacting to drama instead of following a plan. You check your account every hour, riding a wave of euphoria or dread. This emotional whiplash leads to impulsive decisions. That's why most people never see real gains. But that's just the start. Even if you manage your emotions, there's a second trap waiting around every corner. It's louder than your own fear or greed. It's the endless hype machine, feeding you illusions you can't resist. Every day there's a new hot stock or crypto that's guaranteed to skyrocket. Influencers hype it, your coworkers rave about it, even your barber swears by it. The dirty truth? By the time you hear the buzz, insiders have often made their money. You get lured in at the peak, fueling someone else's exit. It's fear of missing out. If you don't buy now, you'll supposedly regret it when the price quadruples. But you're usually boarding a train that's on the verge of derailing. The hype preys on your longing for quick success, leaving you holding the bag. I've watched so many people fall into this trap. One friend went all in on a crypto he barely understood, pumped by social media. For a short time, his balance soared. He told everyone he knew. Then a wave of bad news tanked it. He was devastated. That's how the hype cycle works. You buy at peak excitement, then insiders dump their holdings. It's an ancient pattern, yet we keep falling for it because we crave instant wins. But even if you dodge the hype, there's one more silent killer: the short-term mindset. The belief that real success happens overnight leads you to chase instant gratification. This is where most investors truly seal their fate. Nowadays, we expect everything in an instant: movies, messages, even meals. So when we see someone turn a few $100 into a fortune overnight, we think, why not me? But that fantasy rarely pans out. Yes, some people get lucky, but these success stories go viral precisely because they're outliers. The reality is that real investing success resembles planting a seed and patiently nurturing it. Sure, you might score a short-term win once, but it's rarely sustainable. If you approach the market like a casino, you'll suffer the gambler's fate: big highs and crushing lows. Without a solid, rules-based strategy, every dip feels like a disaster, and every surge tempts you to bet the farm. It's a recipe for exhaustion and heartbreak. So how do you escape the trap of instant gratification? It all starts with a genuine plan. Decide exactly why you're buying a particular asset, whether it's a stock, a cryptocurrency, or a piece of property. Ask yourself, does this fit my long-term goals, or am I just chasing a trend? Then set your own rules for adding more to your position or selling. Are you selling if it hits a certain price? Are you averaging in on dips under specific conditions? This might seem like a hassle, but it's the blueprint that saves you from emotional swings. Think of it like a pilot's checklist. Without it, you're flying blind, at the mercy of every storm. Discipline and patience may not get you a million views on social media, but they're the quiet powerhouses behind consistent gains. Let's review. First, fear and greed push you into bad decisions. Second, hype tricks you into buying at the worst possible times. Third, a short-term mindset has you chasing illusions instead of building real wealth. But this doesn't have to be your fate. You can step off the emotional roller coaster, ignore the hype, and invest for the long haul. It's not flashy, but it's how real wealth is built. Remember Jake? After losing big, he didn't just quit. He realized he'd been trading on adrenaline rather than logic. So he studied how successful investors navigate multiple market cycles. He read about different investing styles, value, growth, dividends, and looked at what legends like Warren Buffett and Peter Lynch focus on: real data and long-term outcomes. He practiced analyzing balance sheets, income statements, and cash flow. Suddenly, the market felt less like a casino and more like a strategy game. Sure, it took time, and it wasn't always exciting, but he saw genuine progress. No more sleepless nights, no more panic selling, just a steady climb toward lasting gains. Now here's your game plan. First, subscribe to SecureWealth and turn on notifications so you don't miss crucial insights. I'm not about hype or get-rich-quick schemes. I'm here to show you how to build lasting financial security, one smart move at a time. Second, leave a comment below with your toughest investing challenge. Is it controlling your emotions? Battling hype? Figuring out a strategy? Let's talk about it. Your story might spark an idea for someone else who's struggling. Third, share this video with at least one friend who's caught up in the market's illusions. You could save them from a major financial pitfall. Ultimately, building wealth isn't about fancy cars or bragging rights. It's about taking care of your future and the people you love. It's about freedom. Let me leave you with one final thought. If you keep doing what everyone else does, letting emotions rule, chasing hype, and wanting overnight success, you'll get what most people get: frustration, stress, and an empty account. But if you commit to real discipline, if you choose a strategy that's built on actual research, and if you're willing to be patient, you can become part of the small group who truly succeed. It won't make headlines. It won't get you a viral tweet, but it will give you something far more valuable: stability and freedom. That's what matters at the end of the day. So stay focused, stay patient, and let's keep building that future together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.